And hello, hello, hello. Welcome to another show, Choose Happiness, Choose You. I am, of course, your host, your hostess, Dr. Natalie Forrest. And today, I want to talk about what is your cup? Well, at least I'd love to talk with you about it. And we're just going to sit back, have a cup of tea, have a cup of coffee, have a cup of whatever. Now, before we do that, we do have to set the space up. Now you have noticed that I got my space. I got my space set up always. And I am going to do this right now. Now, some of you have seen me do this before, others not. But when we're talking about happiness, when we're talking about choosing you, then it's really important to figure out, first and foremost, who you are and what matters to you. That's what I love working with. I love working with those who currently feel a void, feel like an emptiness in their hearts, in their lives. And they're ready to figure out what is missing. Now, most of the time, I know exactly what's missing. Just, I've been doing this for a while, and I've helped hundreds, thousands of people, especially women, across the globe, just figure out what is missing, fill it back up from the inside out. And that's important, from the inside out, not from the outside in. So that's why on this show, we talk a lot about all the different things we can be doing that are little choices or sometimes big choices where we're actually choosing ourselves. And it's not always easy, I admit that. So, you ready? Which card? Normally one falls out and one fell out, so I'm going to use this one. No cheating, right? Ooh, that's kind of cool. Now look at this card. You see it? Isn't that cool? Now, I think I mentioned this before, that a lot of people use cards as a medium. I sometimes use cards, but it's more for you, the audience, to have something to look at like this one. So when you look at this, the first choice I want you to make right now is, when you look at this, what do you see? Now, this is not one of those psychology tests that you hear about. It's just very simple. What do you see? And we all usually focus on different things. We all usually see something different. Now, there are some commonalities, of course, which is awesome. But the question is, when you look at this and whatever you see right now, are you willing to say it, embrace it, accept it, and figure out what it might mean? And when I first looked at this, I was thinking about Scar. From The Lion King, the sort of like not so nice brother, because it looks like, the face, like the big eyes, and then like really not very, happy. Okay. So, but if you look at it, there's a lot of light. Now, this, of course, the heart in the middle, the nose. Now, wherever you look, and you can also turn it around, of course. I mean, the people who created this, amazing people, they, of course, put the number here so that this is supposed to be the bottom. But who says? Have you ever done that? And you look at a picture, and really, it's not about, holding it the right way. Sometimes you have to change the angle to really see something. Like if you look at it like this, it almost looks like a temple, at least to me. So I wanted just to point that out, because I know a lot of you use cards like this: angel cards, guidance cards, soul path cards. This deck, by the way, is called Path of the Soul. Really, really cool deck. I like it a lot. And when you use those, you choose a card, and it is meant for you, whether you believe it or not. It really is, and it always, always, always fits. The point is, we don't always accept it. We're like, oh, no, maybe not. Yet it helps us to focus. And very often the messages are so individual that it's really just meant for us. And then, of course, you've got a description. Now, most people I know, they then go to the description, and I'll read it to you just because. It is time to return to nature and reconnect. Enjoy the scent of the flowers, walk quietly by the ocean, hug a tree, and get rooted to the core of Mother Earth. It's time for a look within. Ha ha, that's what we're doing in this show. Anyhow, nature will bring you back on track. Watch, listen, breathe, and connect. Feel the pulse of life streaming throughout, fully and naturally. Through our heart, we are connected to all things, including our higher self. Sit, quiet your mind, place your hand on your heart, and connect. It is there that you will find the truth or your truth. So kind of interesting, I actually was just spending time outside because where I'm at, it's actually snowing. So we spend time outside and yes, grounding. And I've talked before about the need to go outside, to breathe, to ground. And on the show, we've also sometimes done the sort of exercise, the breathing exercise to calm us. And it's always putting your hand on your heart. Now, what all of that shows us, if you go by this description, it always goes within. You connect with nature, connect. Then you listen to nature and you listen to inside. Isn't it funny how I started out the show by saying, fill your cup up from the inside out, not from the outside in? And this just says the same thing. It's like, listen to your truth. Listen to your guidance. I like to call it the IGS, the inner guidance system. Yeah, not very original, but I like it. And so you saw me pull this card. There was no way, well, none that I can think of, that I had messed with it. And yet, isn't it funny that I started out the show by mentioning those things and now it is exactly what we're saying. And the fact that I called the show, What's Your Cup? Okay, I've talked before about your favorite pet, making your choices your way, because that is how we find happiness. It's very important for us to understand that we are responsible for our own happiness, whatever makes you happy. I was had the conversation with my daughter too yesterday and a couple of times before. So this card was about nature. Now I'm going to lean back and I'm going to pick up my cup because I would like to have a sip. Because I'm really into talking with you. And whether you're watching this live, whether you're in the room right now with me and we're going to talk in a minute, or whether you're watching this later. But one thing that everybody needs to understand, you may have heard this before, is that the energy of what we're doing is encapsulated in this video. So this card, whatever I'm going to share with you, the energy that is coming out of me to you, that's always going to be there. Okay, just kind of a hint, because I do energy stuff as well. So this is my favorite cup. You may wonder, how does this all relate to choosing you, choosing happiness, grounding, nature? It's very simple, actually. We need to make time for ourselves. We need to ground ourselves. We need to listen to ourselves. So in that, the question really is, what is your favorite cup? Now, it starts with, what does it look like? What does it mean to you? And are you actually aware of what you're putting in there and what you're digesting with it? So why is this my favorite cup? Well, I just read it, yeah. I'm a mom. What's your superpower? My daughter gave that to me. Yeah, that's my favorite cup. Even when she's not around, because it doesn't matter what you do when others are around. You've heard that saying. What matters is what you do when no one is around. No one's around, just you and me, my favorite cup. Plenty of times when it's just me and my favorite cup. Now, there are some other cups up here that I like to use from time to time as well. And I'm actually pretty organized. In the morning, When I have my tea or something like that, I use a different cup. You may wonder why, and I'm going to explain it because it is those little things that help you be grounded, that help you have a system that honors you. So in the morning, I have a different cup. Why? Well, because I'm usually going. The alarm clock rings, I get up, I prepare everything, wake up my daughter, and then it's school time. During that time, even though the first thing in the morning is me waking up, connecting for a few minutes, but I'm not drinking anything while I'm waking up. I'm just in bed, making sure that I'm setting up the day correctly. So I'm choosing that time because that helps me be grounded and helps me create a happy day. And then, I run around. You're the same. There are chores to do. So while you're then having that coffee, that tea, that orange juice, whatever it is in the morning, while you're doing other things, you're not really focused on that drink. You're not focused on the meaning of a cup. You are sort of nurturing your body, or maybe it's just routine because every morning you do that. But you're not really consciously taking that in. So then, we have breakfast. Well, I have my tea. And later on, during my first chores, I still use that same cup. Again, it is meaningful to me because of the person who gave it to me. So I use that same cup for my first cup of coffee or whatever else I put in there. And that's while I'm continuing to set up the day. So my focus is on the day, not as much on the cup. The cup provides me with energy that I enjoy because it sort of reminds me of the person who gave me the cup. So that's a nice addition. It helps me focus. I know it's going to keep everything warm. And then, I'm just like sitting there, okay, everything's good. And then when I'm done with the first part of the day, I get up very early. Then it's time for me time. For the time where I really choose my cup. What's my favorite cup for that? What is the cup that is going to have me lean back, in a sense, put my hands on my heart and connect and figure out, okay, where are you right now? What are you doing? What's going on? All of that. Really important. So that's the time when I pick this cup. Now today, obviously, I'm sharing it with you, which is rare. I normally don't do that, but it helps to illustrate, helps to demonstrate. Now, while you're watching this, you may be sitting on the beach having a drink or having water. You might be in a yoga studio after you've done some yoga. It doesn't matter where you are because it's about thinking, considering these aspects. Okay? So here I am. Now, my question to you is, what is your favorite cup? You can say what's your favorite glass, or what's your favorite mug. Terminology is not important here. But what is the cup that provides you with the impetus to actually slow down? What is the cup that helps you slow down, that helps you take a break? Busy is overrated. Productive is important. And in that, happy is important. So this is my happy cup. It's my grounding, my happy cup. Right? And that's step one. Cheers. Step two is what's in there? And how did you prepare it? Because you probably have heard me or others talk about how important it is to figure out how are we taking in substance, right? Sustenance. I should say sustenance. German, English, everything flows together. So what is in here and how do I prepare it? And what is my environment? So most of the time when I drink this, I don't work on anything. This is not work. This is my passion. This is what I love to do. So with my clients, they'll sometimes see me use that too because it helps keep me grounded. And when I work with you, I need to be fully focused in a very calm and peaceful state so you get the information and the guidance that you need. So what is in here? If you know anything about me, you know exactly what's in here. It's a coffee latte, a homemade coffee latte. Right? That means I make it at home. Yeah, I can cook. Okay? I love to cook. Sometimes, not every day as a chore. And I make it paying attention to what I'm doing. Now, I admit sometimes I run out and the milk boils over, and then, of course, the coffee doesn't taste that good. That happens. We all fall off the wagon. But in general, I have an espresso machine. And I prepare the espresso. I boil the milk. I put a little bit of brown sugar in it. Brown is important because that's more natural. Put a little bit of brown sugar in. And I pour my espresso. I pour the milk. There's really about that much milk and that much espresso in there. It's a ritual. And that ritual is calming. It helps me center. It helps ground me. And then I stir it, obviously. I do then right away wash up the pot, okay, because I don't like the milk sticking around, okay. I wash that up, and then I sit down with my cup. Now, the whole process of preparation was focused on the drink, on the beverage, on the coffee. Why? Because that was the time from being productive, thinking about this, and this, where I was able to rein it in. I told body, mind, and soul, it's time for me. Choose you. It's time to choose me, to make sure that happiness is in place, to make sure what else can I create today, to put happiness in place, and to check in with me. Check in with you and listen to your truth. Remember, that was what this card said. Funny how it all works out. Love the universe. And then I sit back. Sometimes I have a candle on. Sometimes I have music on. Now, you might want to know what music. That's a different conversation. Different types. Sometimes I put incense on. Sometimes I don't. Very often, I have my crystal with me or something like that. And of course, can't forget one of the most important beings in my world, sitting right over there. She's always around, especially when I have my coffee. And that's one of the cats. I can't say that too loud because then somebody else is going to get upset because it's not supposed to be mine. Okay, so right there, calm. And we know cats enjoy the calm. They meditate all day, in my opinion. So I sit back and I take me time. I look outside and I make sure that whatever thoughts come up, that they are addressed. Sometimes I address them by saying, "Whoa, interesting, but it's me time." So if they like the question comes up, "Ooh, what's for dinner?" It's like, "Whoa, sorry, dinner. That's me time right now. I'll talk to you later." So by creating this and then sitting back, I pretty much am engaging in a meditation. Some people don't like the term meditation, but that's pretty much what it is, if you're honest, because it is the time where you reconnect. So number one is the cup, right? As silly as that sounds, but what is your cup? What is your favorite cup? And then, why is it your favorite cup? Why? What does it mean to you? Remember, the whole process here is important because the process shows who are you choosing? Who are you putting first? If you pick any kind of cup, that's fine, but you're not choosing you. You're not choosing time for you. You're not choosing grounding. You're just making something to drink. Perfectly fine. And you may not have time every day. I mean, there are days when I skip my coffee, at least the midday coffee. Okay? It happens. We're human beings. We don't have to think about a vicious cycle right now. It's all good. All good. Okay? We all fall off the wagon. I've said that before. So now you got your cup. You focus on the cup. You focus on the, ooh, what cup? And by the way, you might choose a different cup every single time that you create this new ritual for you. Because maybe you have 5, 6, 7, 8 cups that are nice. And one day you feel like using the cup that has writing on it. One time you feel like using the cup that's purple. The next time you use a small cup, it's perfectly fine. I'm just making sure that you understand. You want to be aware of the choice, that you are consciously making a choice. And then when you've consciously made the choice for the cup, you're going to consciously create the beverage. Because all of that goes in here. All of that is about you. It's about your grounding. It's about your centering. It's about your happiness. Yes, this is my happy place. And no, I'm not addicted to coffee. So think about, you may be working in an office, you may be working at home, you may be a stay-at-home mom. How much do you take in during the day without realizing what you're taking in? No, I'm not a nutrition expert. No, by no means. That's not what this is about. This is about me time, connecting with me. I also have a water, by the way. I drink a lot of water. And I'm aware of how much water I drink because I focus on it. And this is a special kind of chemistry, obviously. So how do you put the water in there? Are you aware of it? Are you not? We know, you may have seen the studies about water, right? Not to digest, but you may have seen the studies about water. How you connect with the water is how it shapes. That goes in here. That goes into your temple. And with the temple, then that goes in here, body, mind, and soul. They're always connected. So now, what is your favorite beverage? And when I say favorite, I mean the one that helps you focus inward. Not the one you love when you're out at a party, not the one that you love when you're at the beach, not the one that you love for breakfast, the one that helps you focus in. What's that beverage? And if it's a really complicated one, that's awesome. Get the recipe and start making it. Because if you have to try out how to make it yourself, it's really important that you make it yourself because that's you and you, okay? So then you make it. And especially if it's a new one that, normally you buy at a store or something. Now you really have to focus on how to make it. And you can change it up a little bit, modify it a little bit so that you really love it. That's all you time. That's all your happiness time. And then you'll fill it into your cup and you sit back. You, your cup, and your beverage. Favorite, favorite, favorite. Yes, you have to be your own favorite. You have to put yourself first. So a couple of times during the day, you need to put yourself first. That's where the idea of what's your favorite cup comes from. I usually do that twice a day. But of course, I meditate in between, when whatever I do. And I connect during the day, whatever I do. That's because I've been doing it for years. Some people laugh at me, but some people think I'm like always in a meditative state. And that's not like you're out there not connected. No, it just means that you're connected. You're connected, you're calm, you're confident, you're clear on what you're doing. Calm, clear, confident, ready to make the best decision for you. Yes, I know. I've got a child too. A child is part of me now. So whatever the best decision is for her is the best decision for me. That's connected. So just think about it, how it all wonderfully works out. You need, in my opinion, to find your favorite cup. Find your favorite beverage. Find your favorite spot to sit. And then, while you're drinking that beverage, you're taking in the energy, the feeling of the cup, the energy, the love, the effort, the attention that you put into making your drink. Even if it's just pouring out orange juice, if you're aware of what you're doing, if it's in your special cup, you're like, oh yeah, I'm now going to have a good solid glass of orange juice, and I'm going to drink it with a straw, and I'm going to put like one of those little thingies on there, one of those little, yeah, you know what I mean. And I'm going to sit back, I'm going to sip it slowly. And I'm going to sip it, being fully aware, tasting every little sip. Now, you are connecting body, mind, and soul. Now, you are treating yourself like a queen, tasting it, feeling it. All of your senses are going to come alive because of that. And you are fully focused on you. And that's the goal here. Choose you. Focus on you. And I'm sure you can do that at least twice a day. So focus on you. Excuse me, I have to have another sip. It's going to get cold. So good. So good. Yeah. Now, espresso. I should be jumping off the roof. I'm not jumping because I got milk in there. I got love in there. I got calm in there. I'm choosing me. And right now, I'm giving you a glimpse at what it feels like because it's important. Favorite cup, favorite beverage, favorite spot. Like I mentioned, your favorite cup might change every day. That's okay. The one thing, and I waited till the end to say it, that cannot change is the awareness that you spend on preparing your beverage and the time. Now, I don't always do it at the same time, but my body will tell me, well, hello, have you had your latte in your special cup yet? Because we've been doing this for a couple of years now, or a number of years, okay? So it doesn't have to be always at the same time, but it has to be when your body, mind, and soul call you to it. And you'll start to notice when that is. Initially, pick a time and always use that time. And then you'll get to reconnect with your body, mind, and soul in a way that you'll know, oh yeah, now it's time for this. Gotcha, thank you. Putting everything aside, going and making my special cup, my favorite cup. And then you'll sit down and relax. And you're tasting every little bit of the love that you put in there, because self-love is the most important thing in the world. With self-love, you choose yourself. You choose happiness. I'd love to chat more with you about all this. You know where to find me. Here on Win-Win Women. Also, of course, in the Win-Win store. And everywhere on social media or via email. Let's connect. Because you and I have a lot to talk about so that you can choose you and thereby choose your own happiness. After all, I've been helping thousands of people around the world do that. And I love what I do. And as one of my mentees said, I helped her clear up a lot of stuff. She's no longer stuck in the mud. And I threw her that rope and tied it to the truck that got her out of the mud. That's what she said. You can look it up. So if you're ready to figure out how to fill that void that you're feeling, well, guess what? Let's talk. I'll see you next week.